Hey, hi, how you doing? This is the GamerTron. Welcome back to the GamerTron show, and I want to apologize right off the bat for the huge delay in this Q&A video. So, let's not waste your time. Let's get straight to the many questions you guys asked me in the Q&A comment video, which I will also have a link to in the comments and in the description. Thank you so much for asking your questions, guys. I'm happy to answer them. So, first question from Diego. He asks, got any idea of how to convince companies and developers to keep franchises like Prototype? I am also a huge fan of the game, and if you had any comment or lead on a way to elude people to, or at least try, the other two games, it would be my pleasure to hear it. I think you meant hear it, Diego. But thank you very much for your question. Honestly, Diego, I have some ideas, I have some thoughts, but none of them are conclusive, and none of them would be substantial or substantially do anything. I don't know how to convince companies to keep certain franchises going. I mean, it's a damn shame what happened to Radical Entertainment and Prototype. But at least Prototype 2, the ending of Prototype 2, it had like a conclusive story. It had an ending. The game ended. It wasn't like a cliffhanger or anything. So I can thank Radical Entertainment for that while there are only 2 games in the Prototype series, at least it's like a complete story. Do I wish Prototype was more popular and got more games? Absolutely. But honestly, Tego, I got nothing. You can't control the people in charge in the publishing network. They're all about the money, and if a certain game doesn't make enough money, they're going to discontinue it, which is unfortunate as hell. But there is a way to prevent this. More people, I know this sounds stupid, but more people need to buy games and stop buying the same games over and over again. You know who I'm talking about, the Call of Duty crowd, the Grand Theft Auto, Madden crowd. You know the kind of gamers I'm talking about, the kind of gamers who only play EA Sports, Call of Duty, and Grand Theft Auto. Those players need to stop buying those games yearly and try out some other games. Buy some other games, support some other games. There are literally millions of people who only play EA Sports, Call of Duty, and Grand Theft Auto and never try or play anything else. If those gamers who only play those games branched out and bought more games, honestly, we'd be able to see more franchises continued, but that's just my opinion. Thank you so much for your question, Diego. Next question from Justin Palmer. Have you ever played Spectrobes? No, I've never played Spectrobes, Justin, but now that you've mentioned it, I feel compelled to take a look at what it is. Thanks for your question, Justin. Corey Stanley asks, if you could create a Warframe, what would it represent and what would its powers be? Oh, man. When it comes to Warframe and Digital Extremes, now that Digital Extremes is like letting loose, and we're not only just going to make space ninjas, and we're going to make these varied, creative, over-the-top, visually astounding characters, with Warframe there's literally endless possibilities when it comes to creating Warframes. But if I were to make a Warframe, I already got a dragon frame, which was kind of what I was imagining before Warframe. That was a dragon, and we got chroma for that. I guess a scorpion Warframe. A scorpion Warframe that maybe focused on a combination of elemental powers and poison and transforming itself into a giant scorpion. Maybe having giant claws or stingers as an ability. I'm not sure. But yeah, scorpion Warframe, maybe. That would be my idea for a Warframe. And powers would be, well, I can't think of specific powers. I think it would be like transforming into a giant scorpion, using like a scorpion tail or claws, perhaps, and having some poison abilities as well as some abilities that are varied in elements, like Chroma's abilities. That would be my idea for a Warframe. Thank you so much for your question, Corey. Next question from FP4 Playing CZ. Will you ever please make any Let's Play gameplay? FP, what I'm doing is I'm doing one-offs. I'm not going to do long Let's Play series anymore. I am going to finish Dark Sector, though. I owe you guys that much. I should finish Dark Sector. I will finish my Dark Sector Let's Play as soon as I get off my lazy ass and start working on that. Well, what am I saying? Not lazy ass. I'm working on a ton of other videos and I haven't found time to work on the Let's Play, but I really should, like, cancel one video I'm working on and just work on the Dark Sector. Because I do want to finish the Dark Sector Let's Play for you guys. I should finish that. But FP, I'm not going to do like a long gameplay series. I'm not going to do a long Let's Play. I'm going to be doing one-offs. While I will do one-offs on a certain game multiple times, like with Shadow of Mordor and Warframe and all these other games, I'm not doing a long Let's Play series because I'm just not that good at Let's Plays. I'm just not that good at holding people's attention through long spurts of live gameplay. Doing some live gameplay every once in a while for something special or hell just for fun, I think that can work. But a gameplay series, I don't have the capacity to hold people's attention. I have to be honest, I'm not the best Let's Player. There are far better Let's Players out there. Why do you think Markiplier and PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye and all these other people get millions of views? Because they have the personality and the charisma to keep people coming back to their gameplay Let's Play series. I don't have that, unfortunately. While I certainly have the passion for what I'm doing, I don't have the charisma that those other people have. I will be doing Let's Play gameplay, but not a series. And thank you again so much for your question, FP. Next question from VoltFrame. What do you use to make videos? Well, Volt, originally I was using Fraps and a bit of Bandicam. I was starting to get used to Bandicam. But now with my new graphics card, which hopefully you've seen that video, VoltFrame, with my new graphics card, I am now currently using Shadowplay to record my videos. Now, that's just for recording gameplay, to help recording footage. I use Shadowplay. But to, actually make the videos and edit the videos, VoltFrame, I use Sony Vegas Premium Pro 11. Sony Vegas Video Editor Premium Pro 11. That's what I use to edit, render my videos. So, to record my videos, I am currently using NVIDIA Shadowplay, and to edit and render my videos, I am using Sony Vegas Video Editor Premium Pro 11. Thank you so much for your question, VoltFrame, and I hope that helps. Next question from Zane. Why do your titles have so many question marks and exclamation marks? Yeah, it's about time I answered that question. Well, Zane, I just like the way it looks. It's really that simple. It makes the title look bigger, grander, more important when I add all those exclamation points and question marks. I just like the way it looks. It looks bigger, it looks grander, it looks more important. I just like doing that. I like the way it looks on the title. I think it complements the video, but that's just me. Sure, maybe over the top and silly and not grammatically correct, but I just like the way it looks. Next question from Shot Warrior Metal. If you like metal, what are your 5 favorite bands and songs? While I can't name any songs off the top of my head, Shot Warrior, sorry, I'm bad at remembering song names, I can tell you my favorite metal bands, although I'm not the biggest fan of metal. When it comes, if I did a top 10 favorite music genres, honestly, metal would be pretty low. I like metal, but a lot of metal boils down to just screaming as loud as you can, and it's not pleasant to the ear. However, I would be an absolute idiot if I didn't say I really like the bands Metallica, Slayer, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, and Megadeth. I would be friggin' lying if I didn't say those were 5 really good bands of talented people. I don't like all their songs, because again, it boils down to just screaming, but they do have some really good songs, epic songs under the belts. Now, again, metal isn't my sort of thing, but I know good music when I hear it. Thank you again so much for your question, Shot Warrior. So, next question from Nastasa Razvan. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Have you played any LEGO games? Yes, I have played some LEGO games. When I was younger, I've kind of grown out of them. I don't find them appealing or fun anymore. They're still nostalgic, but as I've grown older, the charm of the LEGO games has kind of worn off on me. They're still good games, but just not for me anymore. But when I was young, I loved LEGO Star Wars 1, LEGO Star Wars 2, and LEGO Indiana Jones. The first one, loved those games as a kid. Loved those games. They were adventure. As a kid, you really felt like you were going on this silly, cartoony adventure that was recreating the movies of Star Wars and Indiana Jones. While, again, I've grown out of them, they're still charming little games, they're still nostalgic, and they're great games for kids. If any parents watching this, if you have a 5-year-old, 8-year-old, even 10-year-old son or daughter, they will enjoy the LEGO games. LEGO Star Wars, LEGO Indiana Jones, LEGO Jurassic Park, LEGO Lord of the Rings. The LEGO games are just so charming. They're the perfect games for kids. They're educational, they're challenging, and they're fun. Again, thank you so much for your question, Natasa. Next question from Noel Lawrence. Would you be up for making gameplay vids where you play with your subs? Absolutely, Noel. That's exactly what I want to do. I want to get together with my subs. And I want to make videos with them as a special thank you for the over 10,000 subscribers, guys. You guys deserve it, and I definitely want to hang out with you guys and play with you guys and want to support each other, that sort of thing. Well, surprisingly, when I gave everybody my Steam name, I told everybody where to friend me on Steam, and I didn't get too many friend requests on Steam, which is kind of shocking. But if you guys, my 10,000 subscribers video, you can find my name, my Steam name, and send me a friend request. I will definitely be making a video in the future where we will be playing games together and, yeah, me hanging out with my subscribers. It would be awesome. I would love to. Just kind of need more people to send me friend requests on Steam, and I need to set something up. I need to set like a date and set up a time. I need to talk with my subscribers, set up a time where everybody would be awake, and what would be the best time for all of us to hang out and record this gameplay and just play games. We also have to all own the same game, so that's a bit tricky too. So yes, I would absolutely adore playing with my subscribers, with my fans. I would absolutely adore that. Just need to set it up, and more of them need to friend me on Steam for that to happen. So thank you so much for your question, Noel. Next, few questions from Yap. Yap, you asked quite a few questions, and I'm going to be saving them for another Q&A video, but for now, I'm just going to answer 3 of your questions, if that's okay, Yap. First question from Yap, scythe or swords? Swords. Easily swords. Scythes are badass. I am a fan of scythes. I mean, Death from Darksiders 2, he only used scythes, and it's incredibly badass, and there's some other badass characters who use scythes, but I'm a sword guy. I love swords. Swords are the way to go. They're classic. They're classic, and they come in so many shapes and varieties. You got small swords, huge swords, creative, colorful, magical swords. When it comes to swords, I find there's so much variety, and it's just a classic. They're fun to swing with in video games. Next question, which animal do you dislike the most? Now, I'm going to say that insects count as animals. So, the animal I dislike the most, the insect I dislike the most, are mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are the most useless, pathetic, unneeded creature in existence. If there is a god, one of the very first questions, if I ever get the chance to ask these questions to God, if there is a God, if I were able to talk to God, one of the first things I would ask him is, why in the hell did he make the mosquito? What is the purpose of the mosquito? Just about every creature on this earth, every animal, human being, insect, mammal, reptile, whatever the case may be, has a purpose. They do something with their lives. They benefit the environment. They benefit themselves. They benefit other animals. What the hell does the mosquito do? It sucks blood and it spreads disease. Flies are a more useful insect than mosquitoes. Flies are a more useful animal. At least flies degrade carcasses. Flies take care of waste. Flies actually do shit. Granted, doing shit usually means they're covered in shit, but flies do something. Flies provide to life. Mosquitoes do jack shit. They're the most useless, pathetic, insulting, annoying creature in existence. I hate mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes. They are such a useless, unneeded, purposeless animal. I hate mosquitoes. I dislike them the most. And final question I will be taking from Yap. If you can choose, which female character in video games will you date and go out with? I'll give you 2 options. This is an interesting question. The 2 female characters, probably be Tali from Mass Effect. Tali is awesome. She's sweet, she's kind, she's knowledgeable, she's badass, she's human. She's an alien from another race, another world, but she's human. She has a very human qualities to her. She's a very believable, relatable, likable character. Tally. And my second option would have to be Max from Life is Strange. Now, don't any of you guys call me perverts or kitty touchers or whatever. Max is 18 years old. I am 19 and a half going on 20. Our ages are compatible. I am not a pervert for saying I would go out on a date with Max. She's 18, leaving high school. I am 19 and a half. I am not a pervert or going beyond my boundaries or anything like that. She is literally just like a year and a half behind me in terms of age and video game standards knowledge. I have no clue what the hell I'm talking about. Point is, I'm not a pervert, okay? Max from Life is Strange counts. Anyways, I would go out with Max because Max is she's awesome. Max is awesome. She's one of the very few video game characters and female protagonists that she's so relatable. You believe her. You believe that this is a person that could actually exist in real life. She is such a realistic character, minus the time travel power. She's so believable. She talks, she communicates, she acts like any other person would. This is one of the most believable, likable, relatable characters. She's into horror movies, sci-fi movies. She's into photography. She has a real passion for photography, which is beyond respectable and interesting. And she's just a cool character. She's awesome. So yeah, Tally and Max would have to be my choices for female characters I would date and go out with. Thank you so much for your questions, Yap. I will be sure to answer your other questions in a future Q&A video. Thank you so much for your participation, Yap. I really appreciate all these questions. Thank you so much, Yap. Next few questions from Daniel King. Have you ever watched any animes? Yes, I have. Full Metal Alchemist, Claymore, Berserk, really like Berserk, and Attack on Titan with subtitles. I haven't watched the dub version yet, but oh my god, yeah, those are the only anime I have watched. I don't count Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. I don't count Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon as animes. I watched those as a kid. Hell, every boy watched those as a kid back in the early 2000s. You were kind of obligated to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. However, I wouldn't really count them as anime because the versions that I watched when I was a kid, they were so Americanized and so edited and dubbed over and all this stuff that it was so different from the original works, I wouldn't really call them anime anymore. You know, you can debate me on that. But the anime that I have watched, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, don't count those, would be Full Metal Alchemist, Claymore, Berserk, Attack on Titan with subtitles. Those are the animes I have watched. Next question from Daniel. What is your favorite video game review channel on YouTube? Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one. It would have to be a tie between Angry Joe and GGG Man Lives. I definitely recommend checking out them both. Angry Joe, he's Angry Joe. He's loud, he's over the top, he's fun. He's a cool guy and never shies away from giving his opinion or giving his thoughts. He's a good guy. He's an honest guy. And GGG Man Lives, again, awesome guy, honest guy. He reviews mostly first-person shooters and first-person games, but he's recently starting to branch out more. He's a really good reviewer. He's honest. He gives very, very detailed reviews. He talks about several gameplay mechanics and features of the game and characters and story. He really gives really well done, really well detailed reviews. GGG Man Lives. Definitely check him out. Next question. What's the scariest game you've ever played? Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Easily. While games like Slender: The Arrival, Alien Isolation, Outlast, all those games have scared me, and they are fantastic, wonderful, magnificent survival horror games. Outlast, Slender: The Arrival, and Alien Isolation. Love Alien Isolation. They're all really great games. I love them, and they scare the hell out of me, but no game has scared me to the core like Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I haven't beaten the game. To this very day, I cannot beat Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I just can't. I can't beat the game. I'm too scared to. I'm too scared to open the doors, to look around the corners, because the pacing and the atmosphere with Amnesia: The Dark Descent is so good that I can't sleep at night when I play the game. I honestly can't. And the monsters, while the monsters and Amnesia: The Dark Descent, the grunts and the brutes, while they have been popularized by the media and kind of aren't too scary, when you're in the moment, when you're in the game, when you're in the atmosphere, the grunts and the brutes, they're still terrifying. They're still terrifying as ever, hearing those growls and grumbles and seeing them stumble towards you. I just can't play. I can't play Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Final question from Daniel: what are your thoughts on Bloodborne? It's an excellent side project, and an excellent spiritual successor to Dark Souls. While it is arguably still just more Dark Souls, it is different and varied enough that it's his own thing. It's extremely fast-paced. It's difficult in the right places, yet can be empowering at times with the fast combat, the empowering over-the-top weapons, and the atmosphere. Oh my goodness, the atmosphere of Bloodborne is fantastic. However, it carries with it kind of the same problem that the Souls games have, and that it's really hard to get into the story unless you're like die-hard invest into it. A newcomer to the series is going to be like, there's no story here, or the story is poor or non-existent, that sort of thing. And Bloodborne honestly has one of the weakest stories in the Souls series. But again, that's debatable, and that's just my opinion. And again, it's really hard. Unless you're a hardcore Souls player, it's really hard to get into Bloodborne. Now, I've only played Bloodborne at a friend's house, and I have to say it was a brilliant move on From Software and Sony's part. It was a brilliant move to make Bloodborne exclusive to the PlayStation, because that is a system seller. Bloodborne is such a good game, gameplay-wise, that it's a system seller. It's a reason to pick up the PlayStation 4. It was a brilliant move to make it exclusive. Am I jealous and envious? Of course I am. Of course I am. But I have to respect a good business decision. That was a good move, making Bloodborne exclusive to the PlayStation 4, because it's a great exclusive and it will sell PlayStations. Thank you so much for your questions, Daniel King. Really appreciate it, man. Next question from Sir Tiro: how many hours did you already play Warframe? And you're awesome. Thank you, Tiro. Thank you so much. How many hours have I put into Warframe? Over 900 hours. I'm getting close to 1,000. I've put over 900 hours in Warframe. It used to be non-stop, like the hours would keep going up and going up, but I'm not taking a break from Warframe. I just don't play it as much because I have so many other games that I play and experience and want to make videos of. But I love Warframe. Definitely going to get over 1,000 hours. Can't wait for 2,000 hours. So yeah, over 9,000 hours. And thank you so much for your question, Tiro. Alright guys, we're past the 20-minute mark, and I don't want this video to be too long, so for those of you who have asked multiple questions, like XG Cunningham, I'm going to only have to answer one, and answer these quickly. I just don't want this video to go on for too long. Sorry guys. Anyways, question from XG Cunningham: who do you think is the worst video game protagonist and antagonist ever, in your opinion? Well, in terms of worst video game protagonists, there's quite a few. My least favorite video game protagonist, the worst video game protagonist, in my opinion, would have to be Sonic, Mario, and all the characters from Grand Theft Auto. Mario and Sonic, because they've had video games made about them. They've been a series, a franchise for over 20 years. And they still don't have the common sense to knock up, beat up, cripple, just do something to stop Bowser and Eggman. I mean, it's been 2 decades, and they're still fighting the same villain, and the same villain is still trying to take over the world, even though on multiple freaking occasions they've lost over and over again. It just... ugh, I know they're kids' games. I get it, they're kids' games. They're games meant for kids. And it's classic Mario versus Bowser, Sonic versus Eggman. They're classic rivalries. I get that. It's just, after so many games, after so many franchises, after so many sequels, these 2 characters, or 4 characters I should say, nothing is resolved. Nothing is ever resolved. I get they're kids' games. I get that they're not for the most intellectual of crowds. I get that. Sonic and Mario are meant for kids. They're going to have childish stories. I get that, but it's been 2 decades. Do something. It's been the same rivalry for over 2 decades. At least Transformers, Optimus Prime and Megatron, they have an excuse. They're multiple universes, multiple timelines. It's not the same Optimus Prime and the same Megatron going at it. They're different versions in multiple universes. But from what I understand from Mario and Sonic, it's all the same universe and same story. Then again, I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. And also, Sonic and Mario, they're not interesting characters or nor likable characters in the slightest. They have little to no personality. Sonic has a bit of a personality, but that's drowned out by the silliness in the gameplay. Anyways, Grand Theft Auto. With the Grand Theft Auto protagonists, I don't like any of them. And I know that's sacrilege, because I know a lot of people really like the Grand Theft Auto protagonists. Not me, sorry, no, just, they're such despicable characters. They really truly are such despicable characters that I can't root for any of them. I know they're supposed to be anti-heroes, but there's nothing heroic about them. There's nothing admirable about them. I see them more as just villains than anti-heroes. They're such horrible freaking people. But again, that's just my opinion. If you guys like those protagonists, good for you. I just personally don't like them. As for worst antagonist ever, easily, Gabriel Nowak, or Novak, however you pronounce his name. Gabriel from Rainbow Six Vegas 2. He's such a pathetic antagonist. What is his motivation? What is his motivation for becoming a villain and selling out Rainbow Six and starting a terrorist organization? What is his motivation? To show off and prove he's better than the main character, Bishop. He's basically a crybaby. He's a crybaby. Wah, wah. I'm better than you, Bishop, and I can prove it. I can prove I'm better than you in every way possible. Look what I can do. I can kill innocent people and blow up buildings and create a crime organization and sell out my friends. I'm better than you. Wah, wah. He's just such a horrible villain. He's a horribly written villain. He's an uninteresting character. He's a bitch. He's a total bitch of a villain. He's unthreatening and everything. He's a horrible antagonist. Horribly written, horribly presented. Not a good payoff for who is the leader of this secret crime terrorist organization. He's a pathetic villain in terms of video game villains. Worst antagonist in my opinion. So I hope that answers your question, CJ Cunningham. I hope you like my answers. Alright, oh shoot, we're getting to the half-hour mark. Let's wrap this up with a couple more questions. Next question from Form Agnes. Do you think some video game, I think you meant to say some video games, are anti-LGBT? Some? Certainly some. There are of course video games out there that are prejudiced, that are anti-something. They're made by prejudice assholes of developers, and they're out there. They're indie games. Well, yeah, there are indie games out there specifically created to be prejudiced and attack a certain social group. They're out there. Of course they're out there. So there are some video games like that. AAA video games, on the other hand, this whole conspiracy theory that they're anti-LGBT, this was kind of started by Game Theory in his video. However, again, like most of Game Theory's videos, don't get me wrong, MatPat from Game Theory he's an awesome guy. He's a hard-working individual, and I respect what he does, and I respect what a community and fan base, and I respect his videos. He works hard on his videos. I absolutely respect that. But with a lot of his game theories, aka his opinions, I disagree greatly, and this is one of them. I think he's looking too deep in this, and I think a lot of what he said in that video were coincidences. I don't think AAA video games are anti-LGBT, but I'm sure that there are definitely some indie games out there that are. Just saying. And last question. Sorry guys, I don't want this video to go on for too long. We're about to reach the half-hour mark. Last question I will take from Janzer. Well, what do you know? Harvey Dent. Can we trust him? Well, Janzer, look at this man's face. Does that look like a face you can trust? I'll let you answer that question for yourself. Anyways, guys, this has been a video. This has been a Q&A video. I am so sorry I couldn't answer all your questions, but I didn't want this video to go on forever. Half an hour is just enough. Thank you so much for those of you who answered your who asked questions. I hope you guys will continue to ask questions. For those of you who asked questions and I wasn't able to answer them in this video, I will answer them in the next Q&A video. Thank you so much for asking your questions. I will have a link to all my previous Q&A videos in the comment section and in the description. And I'll be making another Q&A video, another Q&A comment video where you can ask me even more questions, and I will make another Q&A video answering those questions and the questions from the previous Q&A video. Woo! Anyways, again, thank you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for everything. I will see you guys in the next video. I will see you later. Thank you so much, guys. Alright, later.